Because 790 is completely consistent, which bothers some people. 790 is utterly psychopathic. All he cares about is what he cares about. Stan, you think he can fall off a cliff, whatever. He won't think about that. And his purity is, to me, what makes him interesting. But a lot of people have trouble identifying with it, which you can't really identify. You can laugh at him. So the question is, also that back, who's in favor of more 790 and who's in favor of less?
Mark!
That's more. Okay, who's in favor of less? Oh, well, that's interesting.
And if you can get bumped again and fall in love with Stanley Tweedle, that would be I'll write it for you.
You gotta talk to Stan about that. There's so much abuse Stan can take.
My view about that is that's too obvious. But if it turned into a physical relationship,
More plastic, I hear more plastic.
like we did that in 791.
But not enough.
Little bitty six.
And
But we
Brian was
didn't
very
quite go all the
uncomfortable.
way, though. We didn't quite go all
No,
the
we
way.
did another version.
It was close. It was close.
The Eastern European version. There's scenes that.
Yeah, the post-Swedish version.
Thailand version.
Yeah, right.
That's
That
one of the things
bodybuilder
we
you had
always
was
want
quite
is we
something.
want the outtakes. We want
Yeah.
we want the things that you didn't put in there, like
But
Michael McManus was going, well, the Lifecoin outfit keeps falling off. We want
every take is perfect. There are no.
No, but here's what we have done. We've partly answered that request, because as a gesture, as a little thing, which might be fun because you guys came here, that everybody's going to get a tape. We've gone into a bunch of old tapes, and they're all, it's a completely potluck thing. There's no two the same. One might be a version of the show that's not quite finished. Another might be all dailies, which is all the takes. Another might be the show without the effects, or there's green in the background. So some of them are going to be not that interesting, and some are going to have stuff that you might find quite interesting. And everybody gets
They're all on beta.
It took us a long time to transfer that.
Dump them from the VHS.
But I apologize if you get a completely tough tape, but of course you're quite free to trade them.
They will.
Put them up on eBay to secure your grandchildren's future.
See how much more interesting the shows are than the dailies. But you can often hear things that aren't meant to be in the background. You can see who can really act.
I have a question. Where did Manfred come from? I think that at the end of the movies, there was, I think the idea was originally that his divine shadow was going to come back somehow, and when it starts up, we see Manfred.
You mean in season 4?
In season 2.
I mean, sorry.
What about
I
Manfred?
don't know.
Well, the divine shadow kind of got bumped off there at the.
Pretty thoroughly, yeah.
Thoroughly sort of bumped off, but
But then he lives on in Manfred.
we had the insect essence, and it was the evil. It was the essence that was rekindled really in Manfred. So I don't know.
Elements of Manfred.
Elements of the
Elements
divine
of
shadow in Manfred for sure, but instead of Darth Rubber, we got Dieter Lazar, who was fantastic.
Rubber.
Yeah, he really is Darth Rubber. Believe me.
But he does babysitting on the side. Doesn't get any customers.
Lex didn't have to put on that rubber costume anymore.
Yeah, I'm the
Lex
original.
enjoyed putting on a rubber costume. Yes,
They just-
can I wear this home? But they have problems on the bus to Dartmouth.
No problem on the bus to Dartmouth.
Empty goes to Dartmouth.
You just have to make sure you bring lots of potato salad and plenty of change.
Sci-Fi showed the season 3 or season 2 completely
of order in no way that made sense whatsoever. It's really been a big
No, it makes sense.
inhibition
It makes
to-
sense to them.
Any idea why?
Yes,
It
I know
It
exactly
seemed like this
why.
deliberate murder, this attempt to just say, we will kill it, absolutely.
Well, their logic was, TV network executive logic, which is that, they bought the show and they were really nervous about it. That, it just seemed, is it too weird, too cult? And so what they thought they'll do is they'll take a few of the sort of sexier shows, try and sell it on the sex angle. Then they cut all the sex out of it because it's network. And then they showed those shows first. But they also felt, which does have a certain amount of logic, because it's us in a way who behaved illogically, that an audience invests in the characters, say, and that if we had Eva Haberman there, and then we take her away, that's not very good for building an audience. So when you put those two pieces of thinking in there, you get a fairly weird choice of first shows. And then when it seemed to start to work, they start to find all the other sexier shows and lump them all in the beginning. So any show that had any kind of what they perceived as sexy content started it off.
Would show it first without the sexy content. And it started.
And yeah, with the sexy content removed, but the actual sexy content.
Although, I was gonna say, although someone was telling me they saw the second movie when they were showing that, they actually got a butt cheek and part of the blue rock in there.
When they showed Supernova Tuesday night in the States, they cut everything, like except from the neck up, except for the last scene of the shower where they showed a butt cheek and Zev's blue coochie right there.
Well, they did.
Congratulations. I mean, this is the sort of thing that you want to, say to the.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's not only you want to encourage, you want to write to various newspaper editors indignantly.
So I understand that.
5 minutes long. Surely.
Pardon?
Well, there's some of the episodes of season 3 when it showed with the sex content taken out would be about 5 minutes long.
Well, yeah, it's show number 4. Show number 4, we actually decided that we would really go the distance, and we did. To Brian. Stanley gets everything he always wanted,
Heroic.
and more.
That's not too much of a good thing episode, right?
Listen,
Yes.
Brian, I have to say, in that episode, I mean, you've seen actors working under difficult circumstances. Brian is such a stand-up guy.
I can only try.
Oh, Brian was standing tall.
I was.
Like
I
a
was an
fir
upright
among
guy.
shrubs.
Yes.
He was his own body double, wasn't he?
Oh, there's
And
none of that
it's
around
obvious,
here. No, he doesn't need
it's
any of
real,
that.
it's all real.
No,
gotta ship it out.
it's actually quite funny. I mean, I quite enjoyed the episode. It's actually very successful because, we tend to attack things. And this one we genuinely attacked sex. And I was curious to know, because we were into that episode. We had, it was probably, we hadn't shot it, but it was right about the time to be shot, about the time the Sci-Fi Channel bought the series. I thought, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what they're going to do.
Cut this one, you
But
mother.
what they've done is they've re-edited, and there's quite a bit of blurring in it. Now, I personally don't mind the blurring, because it's so weird to see this blurring. It just seems bizarre. So,
Eyes wide
Because
shut.
they believe that the audience won't actually think that those girls had no tops on. If there's a blur there, oh, well,